This is a book by Malcolm Mitchell. It's called My Very Favorite Book in the Whole Wide World. Hi, I'm Henley, and this is a story about finding my very favorite book in the whole wide world. Reading can be hard, you know. Once upon a time, everyone thought I hated to read, but that's just not true.
In some books, the words are too big, the sentence is too long, and there are way too many pages, on and on and on. She slept and blah, 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 blah. In other books, the pictures have zero to do with cool things I like or with what's inside me. I do try, but some books are so giant. If I stood on them, I'd turn into a giant, right there. Other books are so boring, I'd rather use them as pillows.
When I'm supposed to be reading homework, I'd rather be playing football in the backyard. You can see him throwing the football right there. When I'm asked to read the cookbook to help make dinner, I would rather see how many grapes I could fit in my mouth. Once I took a wagon full of books to the town swimming pool to find out how good they could swim. There you can see the little doggy on all those books.
When I tried to read books about dinosaurs, they made my brain hurt, so I gave the books back to the dinosaurs. I tried reading books about mountains, pickles, aliens, monsters, cats chasing mice, and mice chasing cats. I even found a book about cats chasing mice up the mountain while aliens eat pickles with monsters, but none of those made reading easier or more fun. But that all changed when Mrs. Joy gave the world's worst homework assignment ever.
Find your very favorite book in the whole wide world and bring it to school tomorrow. It can be a book about anything. Just make sure you love it because you'll be sharing it with the class. The school bell sounded like 100 horns blowing in my ear. Thinking about the yucky homework assignment gave me a super headache and made my hands sweaty.
On the way home from school, I stopped by the mighty library, hoping to find any book that could be my favorite. My friends went into the library ahead of me. When it comes to finding books, I'm not so fast. Inside, there was a nice man sitting behind a jumbo-sized desk. I asked him if he could help me find my very favorite book in the whole wide world.
He showed me books about science and adventure and squishy animals. He flipped through the pages of books about flags, farms, and holidays. He'd found plenty of books with twisty big words, sentences as long as my legs, and pictures that tangled the pages. It gave me the heebie-jeebies. When I saw my friends in the middle of the library having fun and reading, I felt more lost than ever.
The next place I tried was Mrs. Rackley's bookshop. Maybe she could help me find a favorite book. Now, Mrs. Rackley did what she does best. She brought piles and piles of books. I looked and looked and looked, but I couldn't call any of them my very favorite book in the whole wide world. All those pages, all those words made my eyes tired. I realized it was going to take a book miracle to find my very favorite book. I grew a sad face and stomped all the way home.
Mama was unloading the dryer and she could tell that I was having a crummy day. I told her all about the worst homework assignment. The librarian and Mrs. Rackley tried their very best to find me a book, but it was no use. I'll never find my very favorite book in the whole wide world.
With a voice as warm as rolls from the oven, Mama said, "Henley, sometimes the best stories can be found inside of ourselves." After a sweet kiss on the forehead, Mama's words lit up inside me. That's when I had a brilliant idea.
The next morning, I could hardly wait for my turn to share my very favorite book in the whole wide world.
I stood proud as all eyes in the reading circle stared at me. Everyone thinks I hate to read, but that's not true. Yes, some words are too big and some sentences are too long, but that's not my biggest challenge. Before today, I just hadn't found a book I wanted to read. I hadn't found the words or pictures or pages or sentences or subjects that showed me me.
So last night I wrote a book. It's called My Very Favorite Book in the Whole Wide World. It's about a big, fat, bumpy journey to finding the perfect book. My book has words and pictures and pages that show me, me. And that show you, me.
When I started reading my book out loud for everyone to hear, I struggled. But soon my words began to flow. The pictures I drew danced off the page. Everyone can have a favorite book in the whole wide world, even if they have to write it. When I was done telling my story, all my classmates clapped and cheered.
My teacher gave me a gold star on my homework. And that's the truth. The end.